Okay, so let's start with Srila Prabhupada going to India for the first time after coming to America in 1965. He's going back. His visa actually expired, and he was also not well. He had sent a letter to India to see if uh, a Ayurved doctor can come to help him. But in India, he was not getting a lot of help from his god brothers, from Gaudiya Math. Um, and Srila Prabhupada decided then he better go to India, to Vrindavan, because he was thinking he's going to leave his body at that time because he had a slight heart attack and he narrowly escaped. He was in the hospital in New York for a week or so. And then he decided that he has to go to India to recuperate and get better. Um, Srila Prabhupada, first he thought he'll go to San Francisco because they were having their first Rath Yatra there. So after that, he wanted to go back to India. So when he landed back in San Francisco from New York, he was greeted by so many devotees. Um, Prabhupada had already come and for the first time before, but this is the second time. But Srila Prabhupada was not feeling very well, and even the disciples they got a car for him to go stay in a hilly place, and Srila Prabhupada even going on an ascended road was giving him trouble. But Srila Prabhupada still hung on and was taking all the services that his disciples were giving. Um, so even the ride up the seaside cliffs, San Francisco has so many hills and valleys, and that was even troubling Prabhupada. So we see how Srila Prabhupada's health was not good at that time, but still, this pure devotee wants to serve the Lord. So he even came to oversee the first Rath Yatra. But Prabhupada did not go out with everybody for the Rath Yatra. He just stayed in his room and he heard the beautiful chanting and kirtan, and he was so happy to see how much progress his new devotees or disciples were taking and having the first Rath Yatra in San Francisco. Okay. There were many devotees who wanted to um, get initiation. So there were a lot of trouble from some of the uh, folks who are interested in Krishna consciousness, but they were still taking drugs. And even when Srila Prabhupada was waking up early, even when he was sick, he was translating his Srimad Bhagavatam, and there was this person who came and banged on the door, and Srila Prabhupada, even at night, he said he'll come back, he'll talk to them in the morning, but then still they made a fuss. But Prabhupada tried to, help her at that time, even at that time. So we see how merciful Srila Prabhupada is. Um, so this picture is just showing Srila Prabhupada coming to San Francisco for the second time. And this is just showing Alan Ginsberg, who was also there. Um, so Kirtanananda and Upendra were the main disciples at that time, helping Prabhupada. And Prabhupada decided to take Kirtanananda with him to India when he goes. And that's when Kirtanananda's Keith or Kirtanananda was already initiated, but he became the sannyasi, first sannyasi initiated by Srila Prabhupada when he went to India. So he was known as Kirtanananda Swami after that. Okay. So let's move on. So once the disciples and the temple in San Francisco got steady, there was many devotees in Los Angeles that were forming a good community there uh, in um, in California, and we'll see later how the Los Angeles became the most favored community by Prabhupada because it was a big facility and there was a lot of book distribution happening there. Okay, let's move on. And Srila Prabhupada then reached India. So his first trip um, from from US back to India. So this happened. He was flying first um, to London, and then London to Moscow, and then Moscow to New Delhi. So that's how. And Kirtanananda Swami was also with him. And one interesting point is when he reached India, there was nobody to welcome him there because this is the first trip. Um, so he just had Kirtanananda with him, and he first wanted to go to Chippivada temple in Delhi. So this is the place where we discussed before. Srila Prabhupada used to write his Back to Godhead magazines, and he went there and showed Kirtanananda his place where he used to sit and write, and Kirtanananda was feeling very sorry that Prabhupada had to stay in such a crummy place with which is very austere with nobody to help, and he was doing so much. Um, so then after that, Srila Prabhupada decided to go to the Krishna Balram temple in Vrindavan, where he wrote his first canto. So remember, he took 200 copies of the first canto he had written of Srimad Bhagavatam. He wrote 3 volumes of it in the Krishna Balram temple. So he went and showed Kirtanananda where he used to sit and write all that. So it was very eye-opening for Kirtanananda and for everybody else. Srila Prabhupada went and met his um, god brother Bon Maharaj. So this Bon Maharaj is also a disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. So that's why they're called god brothers. So Bon Maharaj, um, he was happy to see Bon Maharaj, and Bon Maharaj was happy to see Prabhupada had a disciple with him, a white body disciple. So um, and then there was another disciple, Achyutananda, who joined. So, um, so everybody was very interested to see how did a foreigner become a devotee, and because this was the instruction by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, but no other person could fulfill that desire of the Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada was showing to them that all these wonderful souls had taken his shelter. Um, and they were some were feeling slightly jealous of Srila Prabhupada, but there were others like Sridhar Swami who was very appreciative. Um, and we'll see that now. Um, and Srila Prabhupada went to his sister's house here. Srila Prabhupada used to call her Pishima. Um, her real name is Bhavatarini, but uh, she used to like cooking for Srila Prabhupada, but Prabhupada got some stomach indigestion the first time uh, she cooked a lot of oily things that Prabhupada really likes kachoris. Prabhupada was called Kachori Mukhi when he was little, so and so his sister was cooking with so much love. And Prabhupada's health wasn't very good at that time. So then Prabhupada was taking care of it more in Vrindavan. but his visa to go to America wasn't coming. So then he decided that instead of waiting for the permanent visa, he will get a temporary visa. And when he went to the U.S. consulate, they said, "Oh, where are the letters?" So then all his disciples from New York and San Francisco had already sent the letter, and he said, "I have to go back to my disciples. They really need me." So so they were Achyutananda was able to show all those letters, and then they still needed a no objection certificate from um, from the yeah, from the Indian government, and everything in India is some slow because of the bureaucracy and all that. So Prabhupada had to stay in India longer than what he wanted to, and then finally he left for San Francisco. So any questions so far? And while he was staying with his sister Pishima, he went and saw Radha Govinda deities. So these were the deities he and his friend used to go in a stroller while they were little. So he told all that to his American disciples, and then he went back. So Srila Prabhupada, when Srila Prabhupada left US and went to India, everybody was wondering whether he would come back because his health was very bad. But then he was able to recuperate, and then once he came back, there was always that urgency that Srila Prabhupada, being old, may not be there for too long to guide them. So Srila Prabhupada was trying his best to, with the limited time, preach as much as possible. So he asked three disciple families, so six people total, to go to London and spread Krishna consciousness. So we see that Srila Prabhupada is never satisfied with the current situation. He always wants to do more and more and more. Like anybody who establish a temple and one community, they'd be so happy. Oh, I did so much in my life. But Srila Prabhupada, even after having a big community in New York and San Francisco, and he still said, "Oh, we have to, spread Krishna conscious to London." So he just took some of his best disciple, Mukunda and Janaki, got married. And Srila Prabhupada was spreading Krishna consciousness even during his initiation ceremonies, and he used to conduct the marriages for his disciples, and many their family used to come to see it. And Yamuna Devi was such a person. She just came to help her sister with her wedding, and she became attracted, and she became a great devotee. Like we were discussing, she was the one who was, who created the records that are still played in ISKCON temples. So Srila Prabhupada did everything to in service of the Lord, to spread Krishna consciousness and save the suffering souls. So, so he sent these three families. They didn't know anything about London, but we can see how they succeeded. Yes, then he went to MIT. This is Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Boston, and he did some lectures there. And he asked, "Is there a department that teaches about the soul? If not, why do you call yourself a great university?" So Srila Prabhupada was attracting a lot of students by giving all these wonderful lectures. And by that time, many journalists were coming because there were so many people in America who were surrendering their life to Srila Prabhupada and becoming full-time devotees. So there was a lot of publicity happening. So we can see that all these cities are taking up Krishna consciousness, and temples are getting established because of the able leadership of Srila Prabhupada. Um, and then Srila Prabhupada established in Los Angeles regular deity worship and classes on Nectar of Devotion. And Srila Prabhupada said that Nectar of Devotion is by Rupa Goswami, right? Is the best book to follow um, in our life, and that's why we are also called Rupanugas, right? Because Rupa Goswami gives all this wonderful um, instructions in NOI and NOD, which is nectar of instruction and nectar of devotion. And so Srila Prabhupada said we can use that, and he established that in Los Angeles. Um, so the three couples who went there initially, they were going through a lot of struggle. So no positive message of forming a community or creating a temple was coming. So Srila Prabhupada actually sent some more devotees there, and he used to send nice motivational messages so that they are not depressed, but they can continue. And they established what we can see now, um, that this Shyamasundar Prabhu, he went and met George Harrison, who is a great singer in the band called Beatles. And George Harrison uh, was a great devotee who was just waiting for disciples to go meet him. And he took to Krishna consciousness so well that he even sang some records. Um, and and he was able to help in his way. He actually gave the Bhakti Vedanta Manor, which is his property, to make a temple. So we can see here how George Harrison, he was interested in Eastern philosophy, and this this Prabhu here, he is able to go talk to him and convince him and bring him to Srila Prabhupada. So then we see, if you take the Krishna book, this George, yes, this George Harrison has written a nice foreword also. Yes, yes, very good. So Shreyaji is showing the book, which has the picture of George Harrison, um, that Srila Prabhupada wrote. So here, this is the Hare Krishna mantra record that was created, um, and then they were able to sell that record, and with that money, they were able to get a place. So. Um, so the movement was taking moving forward, and George Harrison had a big part to play in it. So see, they sold 50,000 copies, and all because of this nice Prabhu here, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, who was able to go and talk to all these. This is how he looks now. Um, yes. So Shreyaji is
See,
showing
this
nice pictures.
picture is showing George Harrison chants Hare Krishna with devotees in the 1969 on the rooftop of the building housing of the Beatles
Yes, very good.
Record in Company in Apple Park in London.
Yes. So this is the Apple Studio that uh, that created the record. They took Srila Prabhupada and created a nice record also. And this sweet, My Sweet Lord is is a s- is a song by George Harrison where he's actually talking about Krishna in that song. So he created a bhajan also. See how wonderful devotee is using all his name, fame that he has as a great singer in the service of Krishna. And the wealth he has, he gave to the disciples to create a temple. John Lennon was also part of the Beatles. He invited um, Prabhupada to stay in his house, but his wife was not very favorable, and she used to not respect Srila Prabhupada so much. So Srila Prabhupada moved out of there. Um, but George Harrison was a great devotee. But John Lennon was also able to provide some service to Srila Prabhupada. He sent a limo to pick up Srila Prabhupada. He made Srila Prabhupada and disciples stay in his bungalow for a few weeks when his place in London was getting ready. So a lot of help was given. So if you look at the bright side, that he was able to render service to this pure devotee of the Lord. So then, then there is the story of how they wanted to establish a temple, but they didn't have any deities. And then there was an Indian family in uh, in London, the Doyals. The Doyals got two deities of Krishna and Radha, but there was a slight chip on the hand of Srimati Radharani, and they said, "Oh, we can't use that anymore," and they wanted to sell the deities. And then Srila Prabhupada came to know that these deities are available, and Srila Prabhupada went there with his disciples and talk to them as if uh, like they he didn't show that he needed it so much. So while he saw the deities, he knew these were the best deities, and Krishna and Radharani actually came to be in his temple. So he was acting as if, oh, this is okay, we can just help take it away from you. But then once he left that house, he told them to stop the car, and then he paid obeisances, because when if he showed that this is so valuable in front of them, they may not give it to him. So Srila Prabhupada was very intelligent how to you know get everybody to serve the Lord. So he got these deities just in time to establish this London temple. This is how it looks today, with the storefront and the Govinda's restaurant. And this is the temple in LA on top, and all the disciples there. And at that time, also there were, because the influence of some of Srila Prabhupada's god brothers, some of the his disciples were getting influenced, so they didn't put Prabhupada's full name in it. Just said Bhaktivedanta Swami or something. They didn't say founder Acharya of ISKCON. So Srila Prabhupada got all the temple presidents to LA and instructed them that we are not a Mayavada school. There were some disciples who were calling Srila Prabhupada God, and Srila Prabhupada said that is a wrong understanding. Um, you got to treat a spiritual master as God, but he is not God. So Srila Prabhupada was very clear with his message, and anybody deviating, Srila Prabhupada used to call them all and then give them the right instructions so that there is no wrong message passed down. So that was the threat against ISKCON, and Srila Prabhupada was able to take care of it. And then Srila Prabhupada, established this life membership in order to get more money to establish all these temples, to buy temples and all that. He for Indian rupee 1,111, a person can become a life member. And I was able to find my father's life membership from 1985. So he had bought this, and so when we went to Mayapur, I was asking him for his card, so I took a picture of it. So this was Srila Prabhupada's program that he was, trying to get everybody to serve the Lord, and with the money, he was establishing all these wonderful temples. Um, okay, we are running out of time. But here are Srila Prabhupada's, he called them the dancing white elephants, because these are the great devotees. This is Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, um, Shyamananda Prabhu. And so all these devotees were helping to spread Krishna consciousness in India. Because when he came with these disciples to India, everybody was like, oh, Americans are following Krishna consciousness. then we should also follow Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada was a great visionary. He knew how to engage everyone in the service. If you remember, the first time he came, there was nobody to receive him. The second time he came, there were so many disciples in India who was welcoming Srila Prabhupada and all the American disciples. And the Krishna consciousness movement was spreading. Um, and then when he came to Calcutta, there was a big incident where there were some Naxals who wanted to attack Srila Prabhupada because they thought, so many people are coming, so their relevance will go away. And then Srila Prabhupada started chanting the Chintamani. He Chintamani prakarasatmesha kalpavriksha lakshavriteshu surabher abhiphalayantam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So when he chanted that, they somehow lost their power to fight and they didn't do anything. So it was a miracle in front of everybody that was happening. And everybody started calling Srila Prabhupada JetAgeParivachakacharya. So Parivrajakacharya is a guru who walks and spreads Krishna consciousness. And then he came to be known as JetAge because he was flying to all these places, to Australia, um, Malaysia, San Francisco, and meeting all the devotees and spreading Krishna consciousness. And and so then Krishna consciousness spread to every remote part of the world. He established the LA temple, Radha Dwarakadish, and um, and he was having Ratha Yatra for the third time now in San Francisco. And you see, this is the famous picture where everybody is participating in Ratha Yatra, and Srila Prabhupada, even being so old, is dancing and singing so much. Okay, so that concludes our class for today. And now we can go to the Kahoot quiz. All of you ready?
Prabhuji, there's a photo of the.
Yes, very
And
nice.
also, who are Naxalites, Prabhu?
Sorry?
Who are Naxalites?
Naxalites.
Yeah.
Naxalites are communists. They are politicians who so there is communism and there is capitalism. So capitalism is what America follows. Communism is what Russia and Soviet Union follows, where they treat everybody the same. Even if you work hard, you don't get more money. Everybody gets the same, um, um, same salary. Um, so the problem with communism was, the leaders were trying to make everybody look equal, which is a good concept. However, they were actually getting the benefits, and not the people. So the people, that's why Soviet Union broke up and communism did not work out. Um, so Srila Prabhupada, because communisms are people who follow communism, they are atheists actually. They don't like talking about God. They say, taking care of people is the most important thing. And then so these Naxals were against Srila Prabhupada, and so many people were coming. So that's why they told Prabhupada, fly or die. And Prabhupada was not scared. His name is Abhay Charan. He doesn't get afraid. So he still stayed there, and they came with weapons to attack. But then when Srila Prabhupada chanted this mantra from Brahma Samhita, he just, uh, you know, they didn't want to fight anymore. Um, and then next day he went and met their leader and said he's not against to communism. He's teaching spiritual communism where everybody is treated as a spirit soul. Great question, Sri Hariji. Did that answer your question? Okay. You're muted, but I think you said you're okay. So let's go and play Kahoot now. Okay. They have a new animation that we are on an island playing Kahoot. So 6817045. Hey, Meenakshi ji has joined.
Prabhuji, my iPad is like a bit slow in connection right now, so can you please give me some time?
Of course, of course.
Come on, connect.
Ayana is also having trouble.
8, 1,
Narasimha has joined. I
7,
think that is Sri Hari ji.
0, 4, 5. Enter. Let's get cool.
Okay. Now we are just waiting for Shreya ji and Ayana ji to join. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, looks like all of you have joined, and we'll get started. Okay, it's from Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita 26 to 35. Where was the first Ratha Yatra performed in the Western world? San Francisco, New York, London, Paris. Very good, San Francisco. All of you got it right. That means I got it right. Very good. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is like a big dash which drives away dash. Mridanga, music, cannon, Maya, forest, pest. None of the above. Okay. So it's a big, it doesn't drive away music, right? Because kirtan is music. It's like a cannon driving away Maya. So when we sing, all the Maya will go away. Maya that makes us think that we can enjoy away from Krishna, that will go away. Okay, how can demons become devotees? Chant Hare Krishna and do sense gratification, chant Hare Krishna and disrespect others, chant Hare Krishna and render service. Yes. One person said none of the above. What were you thinking? Anything else?
Prabhuji, that was me. I accidentally clicked the wrong button.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Okay. What did Srila Prabhupada say would please him very much? Remain Krishna conscious and preach, donation to Gaudiya Math, not following spiritual authority, enjoy your senses. Yes, Srila Prabhupada asked his disciples, his white disciples, to remain in Krishna consciousness and preach. So today also they're preaching. Radhanath Swami Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, even though they're old, they're traveling and preaching. Srila Prabhupada preferred dash medicines, allopathic, homeopathic, Ayurvedic, chemicals. Yes. So allopathic is what we get in America, the modern medicine. Ayurveda is the Indian medicine that has natural sources, right, from the roots of plants and all that. Homeopathy are the little sugar balls that Used. Okay. Where did Srila Prabhupada write the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam? Radha Damodar Temple, Vrindavan, London, San Francisco, New York. Yeah, so he actually wrote this before he came to the US, but he was showing his disciples these wonderful places. Who was the first Western sannyasi disciple of Srila Prabhupada? Achyutananda, Vanamali, Kirtanananda, Jayapataka. Yes, Kirtanananda is the right answer. Achyutananda also joined Srila Prabhupada in India, but Kirtanananda was the first sannyasi. What did Srila Prabhupada say was his only qualification? Birth in Vaishnava family, scholarship in Sanskrit, unflinching faith in his spiritual master, having 5,000 disciples. So, Srila Prabhupada, he said his only qualification is very humble, even though he did so much. Uh, he was just doing it for a spiritual master. Anybody praises him, he'll just say, "My spiritual master is so great." Okay. How many devotees did Srila Prabhupada send to London to start Krishna consciousness? 2, 4, 6, 8. So remember, there were 3 couples. So 3 times 2 is 6. So 6 is the right answer. Which book did Srila Prabhupada say would be the handbook for practicing bhakti or Krishna consciousness? Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Nectar of Devotion, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So actual answer is Nectar of Devotion because he said we are all Rupanukas and we have to follow the Nectar of Devotion. What was Srila Prabhupada's favorite bhajan? Bajahure mana or Hari Hari Dipale Janma Gunainu Manasa Deho Geho. Yeah, so this is the bhajan we sang this today before class. Hari Hari Dipale Janama Gunainu. Yes. Last question for today. How did Srila Prabhupada drive away ghosts? So in one of the temples there were ghosts and everybody was complaining. So he chanting Hare Krishna. Very good. So that ISKCON temple had in LA, it was a big building, and those who were working there were complaining. They were hearing whispers and sounds. Then Srila Prabhupada said, chant in every room. Srila Prabhupada went and chanted, and then all those things stopped happening. Okay, Hari Bol. Let's see who won today. Everybody are winners. First place goes to Narasimha or Sri Hari Ji. Second place goes to Shreya Ji. And first place goes to Ayana Ji. Then Meenakshi Ji. All of you are winners because you heard about the great pure devotee of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Jyoti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful feet of the Lord. Okay. Okay, I have to travel to Seattle tomorrow for work, but I think I will be back in time for next class. So we'll see on Sunday. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarupascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.